Hello everyone, it's Angie from Rumor Blooms, a flower farm in south central Iowa. The time has come. It is time to put things in the ground. I'm super excited. I've got on a new pair of gloves because the weed barrier can be a little bit pokey. I don't know. It can kind of hurt your hands a little bit when you get in there to plant flowers. So I got new gloves on. I have my map of what goes where. So I'm going to go out and move the plants. They're hiding under this little bit of a cover. I'm going to move the plants to the beds that they're going to live in for the season and get started. What I am planning to get in the ground over the next couple of days are 2 beds of statice, 2 beds of snapdragons, a mixed bed of sweet William and Chinese forget-me-nots, a bed of rudbeckia, and 2 or 3 beds of lisianthus. I'm going to start with the snapdragons and the statice because those beds are prepped. I have a bed prepped for 2 beds prepped for straw flower. I don't have my straw flower hardened off quite yet. It is just a little later to go in. And then I forgot to prep the bed of rudbeckia and Chinese forget-me-nots and sweet Williams, which is the bed right here that I'm pulling old sunflower stems out of from last season. So I will start with the snapdragons and the statice because those are ready. Then I might move on to the lisianthus. Did I mention that I was putting lisianthus in? If not, that's another one. And then see how I'm doing on time, and I might get to the rudbeckia bed and the other bed tomorrow. When planting, I go through Chris's toolbox and grab myself a putty knife. I have both because I'm not sure which one is going to work best. It works good to put in the ground, in the hole, pull the dirt kind of to the side, and then you have room for the plug to go in. It's always fun for me to decide how I'm going to plant a bed. Am I going to do all colors together like a color block? Am I going to mix up the colors, like have it be intermixed or what? So I don't know. This time I decided to do stripes. So in this bed, there's going to be like a magenta color, a lilac color, and an orange. And I'm just going to do like 2 rows of each across the whole bed. I don't know why. That's just what I felt like for today. I will put the frost cloth up for at least overnight and tomorrow, as we are supposed to get very breezy winds, and I don't want these little babies to get beaten by the wind on their first couple of days outside. So I will bring the frost cloth partially over just for today, but I will cover them fully tonight and for tomorrow. beds are done. Next up is this bed of statice, which was snapdragons last year, and also a little bit of overwintered lupine. So I will be leaving the little plants of lupine, if you can see them in here, so that they can grow up and hopefully give me some blooms this year. There is a lot of mess in here. This is the bed I was just cleaning off in my last video, so there's lots of snapdragon mess in here, but that doesn't matter. It's gonna all be hidden after everything grows up anyway. So 2 beds of statice. This is also a bed of statice. And I think I'm just gonna intermix the colors. I'm just gonna kind of alternate from the 5 colors I have and just intermix the colors randomly, willy-nilly. I think I'm just gonna take my 3 trays of statice and just pull plugs from them kind of as I go along and place them by each hole, and then come back and put them all in the ground. I need to figure out though how I'm going to get these plugs out of here because they don't really have much to hold on to. Let me see. I think a kitchen knife works well. I'm going to go get a kitchen knife to get beside the plant and just kind of get the roots out. Chris got home and kept me company for a little bit while I caught up on his workday and pulled root balls out of these holes. This was a mistake to not pull this bed last year. I shouldn't say a mistake. I just simply ran out of time and did not prioritize this as we got started on the potting shed in October, where I normally would have spent a lot of time clearing off these beds. So lesson learned, because digging those root balls out of the holes was a royal pain. Makes planting this bed take twice as long as it should. So I think I'm in progress, or in good shape now. I'm going to get the rest of these statice plants in the ground in this bed and the next bed. Doing? Not paying attention, apparently. Oh, now it's a mess over here. There we go. Oh. I need pay better attention. Are there any more in this bed? No. Goodness. I'm back for day 2 of planting. I got 4 beds planted last night, and I have 4 more beds to plant. I am not as excited about working outside today because, as you can see, it is very, very windy. This right here is a great example of why I put up the frost cloth as a wind barrier, because otherwise those poor little plants I just planted last night would just be getting beaten by the wind today. A few years ago, I did not utilize the frost cloth as a wind barrier. And honestly, all the leaves blew off of my snapdragons after a few windy days like we're having today. So last year was the first year that I did that. It worked really well. That frost cloth is hanging on for its dear life out there. The rest of the weekend we're supposed to have less gusty winds. So honestly, I have considered not planting today and waiting until the weekend. I may give one bed a try and see how it is, because I have found this to be the best hair solution for a windy day. Hair in braids, hat on, it helps keep the hair out of my face. I just don't love getting the wind blown. Today is probably 30 mile an hour winds. I'm not sure. Anyway, it's windy. So I think I'm gonna give one bed a try, see how it goes, and see if I continue on with the rest. I'm just standing here looking outside thinking about how much I don't want to work in the wind. I'm going to muster it up and I'm going to do one bed. I can do one bed. I did, in fact, not plant anything yesterday. After I got the weed barrier down on the one bed, I just decided that the wind was just too frustrating. Yesterday, I was getting dirt in my eyes, my hat blew off, and I decided it just didn't need to happen yesterday. It's a cooler day today, but the winds are significantly less. And so I have a few hours this afternoon, and I'm hoping to get 4 beds planted, and that will check everything off the list that needs to get in the ground right now. The first bed I'm planting today is going to be a mixed bed of Sweet Williams and Chinese forget-me-nots. I don't usually mix varieties in a bed like this, but I had 2 trays that didn't fully germinate, so I don't have enough for a full bed of each. And also, I do think that the pink of the Sweet Williams and the blue of the Chinese forget-me-nots is going to be really pretty together. Now we're down here to the Rudbeckia bed. This does not have the hoops on it like the other early spring ones. nor did the Chinese forget-me-not bed. So hopefully we won't need to cover them. If we do, we'll just put some blocks or something kind of in the center and just lay blankets over it so they don't rest on the plants. But in this bed, I have two kinds of Rudbeckia, Irish Eyes and Goldilocks. Irish Eyes has a green center. It's one of my favorites. Goldilocks has brown center and ruffly petals. And I'm going to divide the bed in half for the Rudbeckia because sometimes I don't have reasons for why I do things other than that's just the way I want to do it. And I think that's okay. So I will divide this bed up half and half into the two different varieties that I have. These two beds behind me are going to be beds of Lisianthus. I wasn't sure if I was going to have enough for 2 or 3, and it looks like I have enough for 2. This netting I have down to use as a guide for spacing. So this year I'm trying to space my Lisianthus about 4 inches apart. The theory is that then they'll be crowded and grow taller, and also hopefully kind of support one another because they can get kind of top heavy. In this first bed, I'm going to put white and pink. And then in the next bed, I'm going to put, I have arena red, a couple of purples, and green flowers, which are my absolute favorite. My absolute favorite Lisianthus last year was Rosita green. And I ran out of those seeds this year, so I only have a few of those, but now I have Roseanne green, which is more of a ruffly petal. The Rosita green looks like a green rose. It is absolutely gorgeous. So I'm going to put white and pink in this bed. I have a white mix. I have Arena Apricot and Rosita Pink Flash. And then in the other bed, I have Giblini Blue, Voyage Blue, Rosita Green, and Roseanne Green. I think that covers all of them. I'm really happy with how big, I got a bug on me. I'm really happy with how big these Lisianthus plants got this year. Now, these were started on New Year's Day. So they've been growing for 4 months. This is what they do. They just grow really slow. But last year, I did not have a lot of luck with getting my Lisianthus even to get this big. They didn't even get half this big, most of them last year. So I'm so pleased to be putting plants this size in the ground. I'm not going to record the whole process in this bed because there's over 300 plants to get in each bed, and well, would just probably be long and boring to watch, but I will show you the finished product when it is all done. I just happened to have the camera set up, and then that crew of motorcycle riders went by. So I wish you could have heard the sound, but I was excited to catch that. You know, spring is here when the motorcycle groups start going by the house. Anyway, it is day 4 of planting, and I am done for now. I got all the Lisianthus in the bed yesterday and this morning. So there's about 300 Lisianthus plants in each bed. And I've given everything a good water, as you saw. I'm excited to have all that done, but I will need to put straw flower in the ground here before long. Straw flower likes it to be a little bit cooler, but I've found that they are not quite as cool hardy as snapdragons, statice, and some others. Plus, I just have been lax in getting them hardened off. So I need to harden off the straw flower and probably put them in about a week or 10 days. And then I will have a bit of a break until it is time for summer annuals to go in. So as I stand here and watch the wind just whip up, I think we're gonna get some big gusts again this afternoon. So frost cloth, hang on tight, buddy. Anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for following along. I hope you're enjoying this journey to flower season like I am, and we will see you the next time.